What's going on? What's going on? Hold on. One second. One second. All right. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. I was wondering why my camera looked kind of funny. It had extra light on. All right. Yeah, missed yesterday. Disappointed that I couldn't make it yesterday. But I'll make up for it. Make up for it on Thursday, I hope. We'll see what happens. But I think Thursday is going to be the day. I've got something going on later, so it's going to be a short stream. Not doing anything too crazy. Let's look at the Discord. See if anybody's uploaded anything. No, I think that was the last time I did. I think we'll watch this video later for sure. And this one. Yeah, I uploaded a bunch of videos. I forgot about it here that we need to watch, but I have 4 for today that we're gonna watch. So we will get to these because, like, this one I want to watch. I've had that one on the I've had that one on the back burner for a little while that I've like actually really wanted to watch. We watched this one. That one's good. That one was good. That one was good. I can't remember we watched Wheezy's WWE Awards. I don't remember. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. This is Wrestling Gifts. Pav, if you know Pav. He is an incredible creator. I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, let's hold on. Second. There we go. Okay. All right. I didn't know if I could making a YouTube video out of this, obviously, but I didn't know if I could have the music playing in the background. So we'll have to see. Oh, this he has a No Way Out video. You can't see it because of the camera, but this video right here, he posted this video today. We'll get to that soon too, because I actually really want to see that. Should like No Way Out. No Way Out was so cool. This is Wrestling Gifts, aka Pav. Big fan of Pav over here. Obviously I enjoy watching his videos. We wouldn't be reacting if I didn't like these videos. Now, this is interesting. He said he's not feeling the 2K25 hype. And I am. I'm pretty hype on 2K25. I'm really excited for it. We're definitely going to be making some content on this channel about 2K25. When it comes out, we'll be doing some stuff with 2K25. I have an idea of a couple of things. And that'll just kind of have to play out when the game comes out and seeing, how things go. but we definitely will be playing it on stream. Like that's gonna happen. We're gonna do that. Um, I got the early release edition, like the Bloodline edition, so I get to play it a week early. So we will just, we'll just have to see how it goes. But I'll be playing it for sure. I'm not the best at WWE 2K, but we're still gonna be playing it. But let's get into the video. It's 9 minutes. Let's go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the year again. 2K25 has officially been announced. The covers have dropped, the trailer has been released, details on modes and features have slowly come out, and 2K is out here ready for your yearly pre-order. And just like the past few years, the trailer and news has promised us amazing new features for the game and for your $70+. And just like the past few years, the news has the community going crazy. And I'll be honest, from everything that
I am really excited about the like version of the park or whatever from NBA 2K. I have no idea what that's going to be, what it's going to entail, what you're going to do there, but I'm pretty excited. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I have the most fun when I play on the park on 2K25. But we'll see what happens because I don't really know how you do that with WWE. Like I do you just walk up and have random matches with people? I don't know. I guess.
we've seen and read, for the most part, everything does look great as usual. The main focus once again this year is Showcase Mode. Showcase Mode is back, and this year it's all about the Bloodline.
I've never
been
big on the Showcase Mode either.
The Bloodline Showcase like that, but I think everyone is just happy that Slingshot technology is finally gone from our mode. It took a while, way longer than it should have, but finally, no more stupid ass real life footage in our matches with everyone in their mouth.
Oh yeah, that was like odd. Maybe that's why I wasn't big on the Showcase Mode. Maybe we'll do that this year. But yeah, the Showcase Mode last year was kind of weird.
Face blurred out, and instead in-game cutscenes are back, which is honestly what we all wanted from Showcase in the first place. Adding the fact that this year there's gonna be more to Showcase than just reliving matches. There's gonna be some dream matches, some matches where you can change the ending. Showcase Mode finally looks better and back on track. And other than Showcase, there's so many things that have been teased and announced. Universe Mode is once again supposed to get updated. Promos are back in that mode. GM Mode is supposed to be updated again. It now has online up to 4 players. We got a new match.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was excited about, the online GM mode. Trying to find a few content creators to do an online GM mode with. We'll see. I've got a couple thoughts and kind of a couple feelers out there. So, it could happen, but we'll see what happens.
Types. We got Underground and Bloodline rules, a new career mode, and an island.
I'm interested to see how the Bloodline rules match works.
They could be, and most of the community feels like they are. But I'm gonna be honest, I am not falling for this again. Hell no. When 2K came back and killed it with 2K22, personally for me, that game being that good and being that fun built up a decent amount of goodwill towards the series for me. After that game, I was back in the series full force, and for the past few years, I have been so excited for the games because of how good 2K22 was. So before you guys start yelling at me and calling me a negative Nelly and shit, when 2K23 was announced, I said that game could be generational. I saw the trailer, I read the news, I was all in. When 2K24 was announced, I said the game could be special. I saw the trailer, I read the news, I was all aboard the hype train.
I feel like this is the thing we go through every single year with yearly sports game releases. I felt the same way about Madden. I haven't bought a Madden in a couple years because it just isn't the same. I bought NCAA football, right? Because that's new. I might not buy next year's. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but like it's the same thing you go through every single year with sports games. To the point where I don't understand why they don't make sports games like an NHL game and then just keep updating. I understand there's a lot of money involved, but it feels like it would be easier just to update it and give like once a year, do a big patch that people pay like $30 for. I feel like you'd get a lot more players that way. Get a lot more play time, but I don't know.
From John Cena Showcase to 40 years of WrestleMania to we made this mode better and that mode better. We added this, we added that. New career mode, new this, new that. I would watch the trailers, read the news, hope for the best, get all excited, share the news with all of you. But for the past few years, when the games finally come out, I have a lot of fun playing it for the most part. But after 2 weeks, I'm basically done for the year. Because everything other than the gameplay for the past 2 years has been half-assed. From a show.
I agree because like that's also a problem I had with 2K24 was I played it heavy. It was the only game I played for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I literally haven't touched it since. I've played it here and there. Like I played my cousins in it not too long ago, but there's no longevity. Like there's no reason to keep playing the game. Like with Madden, they at least have like a season thing, like a seasonal thing go on where you get players for your my team or whatever. Like nobody's playing the my faction portion of this game. And that's where they're hoping to get their longevity. They could be releasing, you know, a lot of different stuff throughout the year, just extra patches. You know, they could do showcase mode as it starts out as a bloodline and then you go through another storyline in 3 months or something like along those lines. But there's no longevity to these games unless you were like locked in on playing this game forever.
Showcase mode to universe mode to career mode to this mode, that mode, my mom's mode. Every single game mode for the past 3 years has been so half-assed by 2K, and it makes no sense whatsoever because at this point, all we need is good game modes. These games have been carried so hard by the gameplay, it's not even funny, which of course, I gotta give them credit for that. They reinvented the gameplay with 22 and they made it so fun, so smooth, so amazing. They deserve the praise. But because it's just been the gameplay, these games never end up having any staying power or any depth and are literally
Right. You're
dead
completely
weeks
right.
after launch. And now with 2K25, for me, it just feels like the same cycle all over again. Yay, new modes, new this. We promise we made this better this time. We promise universe mode is better. We promise this. See, no more slingshot tech. See, we listened to you.
My thing is, I think that 2K might be, WWE 2K might be 2K's lowest earning game of the year. In a sense that I don't believe people are spending money on this game outside of DLC packs. And even at that point, you can just get the season pass at the start and get all the DLC and not have to pay anything else. And so you get WWE or you get NBA 2K and people are shilling out coins for VC all over the place. And I think that's what the idea is with the island is they'll get people to start shilling out coin for VC and hopefully make some money off of this. But they aren't doing anything with it because it's their lowest earning game. They have no reason to put any extra thought or any extra longevity into this game because the people that are buying it are going to buy it day one and they're going to play it for a little while and then they're done. And they'll play it long enough to not be able to return it and they've got it. So they spent $75, $70, whatever on the game, and that's it. That's all they care about. I don't think they care about the longevity of the game. Otherwise, they would be making longevity improvements like they did with NBA 2K.
That's what you guys wanted, isn't it? But that's what they always do. Oh, we heard you guys wanted a Cena showcase. Here you go. We heard you guys wanted 40 years of WrestleMania. Here you go. We heard you wanted GM mode. Here you go. But it's never as simple as that because there's always a catch. So it's like, how can I be optimistic and excited when in reality 2K hasn't really given us any reason to give them that? This is the same company that barely supports their game after launch. Online servers
Yeah.
have been broken for 3+ years. It is almost impossible to play a game
And
online in this game.
that goes back to my original point is NBA 2K makes a ton of money off of online. So they make sure that online servers work and they run and they do extremely well. They don't make any money off WWE online because nobody's buying anything. There's no point in buying anything on WWE online. And so they're just not paying attention. They don't care. As soon as the game launches, they don't care. They're moving on to the next
And
project.
now you want me to be excited for an online island? And you want me to be excited for something that probably won't even work when the company can't even get online 1v1 matches working? What? Fam, the 2K servers are held up with duct tape. And you want me to be excited for an online island? 2K has never given us any indication that they even know how to fix the servers, that they're even capable. And you want me to be excited for an island? Oh, universe mode has a new system. Yeah, heard that one before. Will it really be an upgrade? All new My Rise with a unified story for both women and men. Okay, it could be good, but then again, maybe that was just their way of half-assing career mode and putting even less effort into it. Now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, My Rise has been extremely disappointing. I will say. I played the My Rise on 24 and it wasn't great. My Rise is what keeps me going and it just I don't know. It's like a linear story that's not linear, right? Like you've got so much going on in this story that's supposed to only have one path that it doesn't make any sense. I don't really know what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. I go in and now I've got to go talk to the Miz for some reason when I was just in a feud with somebody else like last week. Now I got to go talk to the Miz about this feud that I'm in. And like it just didn't feel like they spent a lot of time on it and it was extremely unlinear for a linear story. If that makes any sense.
Maybe I am being negative, Nelly. Okay, maybe I'm being too extra, but it's because I want these games to be good.
Yeah,
Listen, if somehow
I
the island
agree.
works and it becomes the one thing that actually rejuvenates the online community, I would be so happy. That's all I've
I am really excited about the island. I don't know what's going to happen at the island. I have no idea. But I am pretty excited about the island, right? I think is where we're going to spend a lot of time if I'm playing this on stream is the island. So,
ever wanted. I feel like that would be the greatest thing ever. It would be awesome to see, even though it's probably going to be most likely a microtransaction fest with ads everywhere.
right.
Even
That's
then,
it. I mean,
I
that's
don't
what I
care.
expect.
Put ads everywhere if you have to. Just make sure it works, because if this community can get a mode like that, it would be great. But has 2K in the past 4 years or so ever done anything to make us actually be confident in them when it comes to game modes? Like, yeah, of course, Bloodline Rules sounds fun. I'm not trying to be all negative. That seems like a great match type to add. I'm never going to complain about more match.
I don't understand how the Bloodline rules match is going to work. It's just an extreme rules match. Like all we've seen from the TV is that it's an extreme rules match where a lot of people make runouts and try to stop the match. I don't know what we're like. Do you just set people to come out at random times to fight other NPCs? Like I don't know what we're looking at on this one.
Types. You know, a match starts as 1v1 and ends up in a 4v4 war. Sounds great, chaotic, amazing. But how many patches will it take for that to actually work?
Right.
Same thing with Universe
Is that
Mode.
King
Universe Mode is
Shamrock?
so broken. It's so like
Yeah.
just band-aided up, and they try to make
I
it
don't know
this
why I didn't read
functioning
that.
mode, but it barely function. Just adding promos is not gonna save it. But I can guarantee you that's probably all they're gonna do. Just add the promo feature and just run away. It's weird. Like I said, it's really weird because the gameplay is going to be awesome. Okay, if you love the gameplay of 22, 23,
Yeah, the
24,
gameplay
this
has
is going
always
to
been
be
good.
great when it comes to that. It's smooth, it's fun, it's a blast to play with you, with your friends. I know for sure I'm going to get the game, and for the first week in the honeymoon phase, I'm going to have a blast. All the new stages I'm going to unlock, it's going to be so cool watching the entrances, all the new movesets. It's going to be so much fun. But will it still be fun once the glitter is gone? Will there actually be anything to play? It's been like that for 3 years now. We need actual depth and reasons to play. And obviously from the surface, like I said, it looks like 2K is giving us that. You're like, yeah, Pav, that's what you want. That's what you're getting. Be happy. But how, like, they haven't given me any reasons to actually believe they're gonna come down,
Right.
they're gonna come clutch with it.
No, he's
Obviously,
completely
they're gonna
right.
say that. They're not gonna say, "Oh, we didn't add shit this year, guys. Please buy our game."
Yeah.
Like I said, the island could actually be the one thing that makes this game worth playing in June, for example. It really could be. It could be the one mode that makes online in these games work and actually become something, make it a social, fun game. But judging from the past, it could also most likely be the most dead game mode ever that people give up a month into it. Once again, please tell me, in the
Yeah, I
past
don't
3
know.
games, what is the best game mode 2K has actually made that you can say 100% is the best it's ever been in a wrestling game? Everything has been half-assed. I'm probably gonna get hate on this. Oh, you're so negative. You're such a loser.
I don't think he should get hate on this at all because he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Like these games have not been great after, you know, after the honeymoon phase, as he put it. Like with my faction, I don't know a single person that plays my faction. They put a lot of time and effort into my faction because it could make them money, and then nobody plays my faction. I've literally never seen anybody play. And we might give it a shot this year. I don't know. Just to make content. But that's where their focus is going because it could make money. everything else needs to be making money for them to focus on it. And I think if the island makes them money, they will focus on it. And they will focus on the game as a whole and making sure the game runs and the game stays up. And there's something interesting to do every now and then to bring people back in and get people to spend money.
Don't buy the game then. No, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna review it. It's just, listen, you can call me what you want to call me, but maybe I'm just tired of making these videos every year when a trailer drops and getting all excited, and then when it comes out, I'm bored a week after. Maybe I'm tired of hyping these games up, literally helping 2K sell copies just for me to not even play them a week after, but it's too late because I already convinced little Timmy to beg his mom to get the game. Maybe I'm just
Yeah.
negative because I actually like playing these games online, but they've never fixed online ever. But now they magically will, right? Listen, all I'm saying is you're allowed to be excited, go for it, jump around, have a great time. I'm not even trying to be mean. You can be excited. The gameplay is going to be amazing. The graphics are great. At the core, this will be 100% a great wrestling game, especially when it comes to gameplay. Just be cautious though, because don't forget how hyped we were for 23 and 24 just to get games that have no depth. No need
Yeah,
to fall for
right.
the same marketing every single year. And I know there's gonna be people who love these games regardless. Like no matter what comes out, they're gonna love it regardless. Which great, good for you. I'm just not on that wavelength anymore, and I know there's tons of other people that are on the same wavelength as me. Maybe I'm just traumatized. I don't know. Maybe
He's
I have
not wrong
PTSD because even for things that
because like I brought this up earlier and it's still relevant. Like the Madden situation. It's like I know tons of people that when we were together, weed gives you more than reason to get. Maybe you're probably right, but yeah, I know tons of people that haven't bought Madden in years because nothing's new about the game. Like nobody cares about Madden anymore. Like some people do, obviously. There's a lot of fanboys, a lot of lovers, but a lot of my friends just don't buy it anymore, and they stick with like one of the older games that they bought because it's still playable, it's still viable. You mix the rosters around and update it. Might have to put a little extra work to make it, today relevant, but it's the same game. It doesn't really matter. And at that point, somebody's already probably put in the work, and you just have to download the roster. But
they do fix, like, oh, we fix showcase. It's all fun in games so a showcase gets rid of slingshot technology just for the stupid ass objectives to be even worse now. From what I've seen, from what I've played, I'm not making things up, there always seems to be a catch with these 2K wrestling games. But yeah, that's just my
yeah,
opinion.
no,
I hope
you're
I'm
a
wrong. I
hundred
hope this
percent
ends up
right
being
on
the
that.
best wrestling game
A
ever. I hope
hundred
the
percent
island
right
works
on
great. I
that.
hope there's barely any microtrans. Okay, that's not happening. I hope the servers are more stable than
Yeah,
NASA internet, and I genuinely want the island to work. I want a good career mode. I want a good universe mode. I want this to be one of the best wrestling games ever. I truly do. I'm just not gonna fall for it again, and I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. And I think that's how everyone should be. We shouldn't be bending over backwards for this series anymore, for this company anymore. Like, they haven't given us any reason to do that. Let me know what you think below. If you think I'm a hater and I should go deactivate my channel, let me know below. Please tell me. It's your boy Pavin. This is my opinion. Remember, this is my opinion. All right, it's not that serious. Just my opinion. I just want what's best for the game and the community. And I don't know. After the past few years, this is how I feel. Let me know down below. This is your boy Pav. See you guys on the next video very soon. Till then, though, take it easy. Later, guys.
yeah, this was great video. Great video because it outlined a lot of the thoughts I was also having, but I'm still excited for the game. I'm not as much, you know, not looking forward to it. Yeah, the without using internet or Ethernet, the the game is awful online. And like I talked about this just a little earlier, but with the NBA 2K, the online servers hardly ever go down. Like they're always good. I'd never have a problem with NBA 2K servers. So they can do it. The servers could be good, and I expect to see a lot of microtransactions with this new game. A ton of microtransactions. I hope wrestlers aren't behind the microtransactions and it's just aesthetic things. But knowing how these companies run and how these games are produced, there's guaranteed to be at least a handful of wrestlers that'll be behind that. Oh yeah, the NBA would absolutely kill 2K if it released a bad online service for their game. That's like what their game is built on. Like I don't remember the last time I just played a quick play 2K game. And I get online as soon as I open the game up. I think everybody gets online as soon as they open the game up. So I think this is the idea behind the WWE 2K25, and it might take another year before it really kind of takes off. Because like I remember when NXT or not NXT, the NBA 2K released the either the city, it kind of sucked the first day. Or the first go around. Second go around was better. Yeah. Yeah, I'll enjoy the 5 days of PS Plus. I paid for a year last month by accident, so I guess an extra year or extra 5 days tacked onto my year. But yeah, W Video, WPAV, Wrestling Gifts. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe for sure. The video linked. Definitely give it a like for sure. Give it a like. Let me do this. Put it in can I put it in the chat on this? Year in 5 days. Let me see. Where's my browser? There it is. Okay. Linking it here. We'll link it in the Twitch chat. Yeah, so yeah, I need to get my capture card back working because I've got a bunch of stuff on PlayStation that I could play on stream, and I just haven't been able to get it working. I think I'm using too many USB ports, so I've got to order a USB hub. Because I've got a lot of things plugged into my PC. But yeah, I'll probably get that done sometime this week because I want to do it before 2K comes out because I'm debating whether I want to buy it on PS5 or on Steam. So I don't know. Yeah, if they mess up the online mode, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, the online mode is gonna be pivotal this year. Infinity Gamer. What is this? Yeah, can't watch that, bud. Breaks YouTube's guidelines for nudity. So sorry, Infinity Gamer. Cannot show that on Twitch for sure if I can't watch it on YouTube. The Beatles did nothing but acid and dropped nothing but amazing music. You're not wrong. I do love the Beatles. Some of the Beatles drama is always hilarious to me, like Yoko Ono stuff. That's always so funny to me. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, delete the link. I'm not even sure how to do that. Yeah, because it's definitely something that I don't want on here. I'm trying to keep a family friendly channel, and anything like that is we don't need on here. That's for sure. Especially something that could get me banned on YouTube for watching it. Because I'm making YouTube videos out of all these. Yeah, let's see how much time we have left. I got to get off by about 4, which is about an hour and a half. So we'll move into the next video. Oh, did I get rid of his video? Oopsies. Oh well. I had another video of his, but I can't remember what it was. What culture wrestling? WWE fans reject Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair Royal Rumble backlash. Now I'm not mad about the winners of the Rumble. I'm going to say that to begin with. I definitely understand it. I definitely get it. Charlotte, I'm less excited about than Jey Uso. And Jey Uso, I definitely understand more than I do Charlotte. But also, I completely understand why Charlotte won. Like, duh. It's Charlotte Flair. She's been gone for a while. Of course, she's going to come back and be champion. Like, she is usually a champion in the WWE. Now, I don't know if she's going to win her match. She could lose. Could lose. I think it's going to be against Tiffany Stratton. And I kind of hope Tiffany wins. I'm going to be honest with you. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Like, we're still a while away. We still got one major event to go before we can even really start Rumble or WrestleMania prepping. But yeah, let's get into this.
Hi, very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we're going to talk about the fan backlash to Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair.
Alexa Bliss is back. I'll have all the details on her return.
This was the most successful Royal Rumble ever.
And a gross injury to iShow Speed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about... I think it's an internet bubble thing.
I think so too.
Yeah, because, I mean, listen to the crowd.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make a video out of this. This might make
a bit of the fan backlash, bit of the reaction to this thing. Mostly we're going here with some YouTube metrics, which I think are quite interesting to dive into.
Downvote.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know the feature well. If you like the video, you slap the thumbs up. If you don't, you slap the thumbs down. It's a way for creators and uploaders to see how much viewers enjoyed.
In fact, I'm not sure if I was working. If you can just hit the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
The other button doesn't work, actually. Now, generally, you know, we're in the content game, so pull back the veil a little bit. We generally consider 95% positive good.
Yes.
90 and above is acceptable,
Yeah,
but
right.
you know, 95 and up is good. If it's lower
Yeah,
than that,
because you're always going to have
boy, what
people that
happened here?
don't
And you try and
like
figure
what
out
you're
why.
doing.
Now, with the videos that WWE has uploaded, the first one, Jey Uso wins the men's Royal Rumble, and the second one, Charlotte Flair wins the women's Royal Rumble. Negative responses across the board.
Yeah.
So Jay
Oh,
got
yeah, thank you, Term. I forgot to change
about
that.
20,000 likes, but about
didn't even realize that.
37,000
Thank you.
dislikes.
What?
So it's 64% negative, and Charlotte Flair,
Yeah.
7,000 likes and about 31,000 dislikes. 81% negative reaction to Charlotte
That's
Flair.
crazy.
Now, I don't think that these numbers are ones that WWE are going to be sitting there going, oh, well, we have to
Is that
change
not it?
WrestleMania
Yes.
or anything like that. I think that for the most part, the people who are clicking these buttons
here, I can
are
do
the
it right
hardest of the hardcore,
Yeah.
right? I hate using this word, but it's the
Okay, I got
IWC,
The
right?
most online.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
any
exactly. So the
any
most
of the
in
commands
the
for this.
online wrestling fans, I would imagine that the 60, 70,000 people who were in the building were like, yeah, I like Jey Uso, good.
I mean, quite a few people were yeeting at the end of that Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, listen to his entrance. It's the loudest thing in the world.
Look at his merch sales.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it clearly...
Yeah, they make
I
a
think it's
great
interesting from the standpoint of maybe it's an online... It's a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
The people who are watching this video aren't necessarily people who were in the building, and they didn't like it. Charlotte Flair is a divisive person. Her push, she's not a divisive person. That's nonsense.
Yeah, divisive wrestler.
Divisively pushed wrestler, right? A lot of people don't like her sustained push. Sometimes she's portrayed as a baby face, and that she's not as good as when she's a heel, perhaps. So I kind of understand where that negative reaction came from.
agree.
Some people are just going to dump on Charlotte regardless.
I completely agree. Like, Charlotte Flair is a little polarizing when it comes to the WWE. Like, obviously, she's got a elite pedigree. She is a Flair. But there is sort of that same kind of Brock Lesnar reaction to where, you know, the moment she walks in, if she wants a championship, she gets it. Or she gets it. And so I have a feeling a lot of people are afraid that at WrestleMania she's going to win and going to take the title from Tiffany Stratton and just hold it. And, like, credit to Charlotte. She's great. She's a great wrestler. Not a huge fan of this character she's come back with. Just honestly, not a huge fan of entitled characters anywhere. And she has come back strong with the entitled character. Just not a big fan. Not a big fan. But I think she could still set up for some great moments. Right.
Although I think it
Like,
was
I don't
quite
think
obvious
it's
she was winning
awful,
heading into the
but I
event.
don't think it's great
Jey
either.
Uso, I was a bit surprised by.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the Jey Uso
I'm
ones I'm
not as
extremely
surprised as I
surprised
was
by.
by him winning, I must say.
Yeah, I think I can understand the reaction more so to Charlotte Flair with regards to this, but I do disagree with both personally. Like the Charlotte Flair one shouldn't have come as a surprise. She was far and away the favourite for the
Yeah,
Rumble.
obviously.
And personally, I think it makes the most sense to have Charlotte Flair win the Rumble and go on to face, hopefully, Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania.
Right. I think
if
everybody's
we
on
look
the
back
same
at the end of
page.
April, we're going to say probably that was the good call because I think they're going to have an absolute ripper at WrestleMania, personally.
Nice.
Or
Okay,
Rhea
got
Ripley
it.
again. They always work well, but I prefer Tiffany and all that. But I can understand, people in the chat, for example, on our stream on Saturday, were pissed off at that result.
Sweet.
But like, you got down to the final sort of 6, and you could see it was going to be Charlotte Flair. I mean, it would have been funny to see the reaction if Nia Jax had won, but once it was down to Roxanne and Charlotte, there was only going to be one winner there. Let's be honest. It could have been awesome if they'd had like a Jordan Grace come in and immediately win it, for example. But
Yeah, I think
didn't
Jordan
that
Grace
was
would have
gonna
been a crazy
happen.
win.
And I just hope, like you say, they give Charlotte a more of an edge. They look at this and maybe just from this, they don't overreact, but just from this, they take
Yeah, I
it.
don't know,
like,
man. I'm not sure
maybe we
about
should
the
have Tiffany
Twitch,
be the face in all this, even
yeah.
though they both are better in personally at playing
The
heels.
Twitch
Jey
command.
Uso
I'm not-
one, I don't
I
think
have
you can
no
sit
idea.
there and say, WWE Rumble's just so predictable. And then they have Jey Uso win and they go, well, not like that. Like, I get it. Me and Phil were sat here, watch our reactions back on the live stream. We're like, it gets down to the final 6, and in our little bet that we had on the stream, I think I had in our draw.
Oh, is that what it is?
Punk, Roman, and Cena, and I was like, got this one wrapped
I do
up,
have Cena
baby.
on it, so I
And
don't
then
know if that
Punk
changes
and Roman
anything.
go out. Punk was my pick, for
Does it?
example, for the Rumble, so I was surprised by that, especially because it was bloody Logan Paul. At least it wasn't Logan Paul that won the Rumble, guys, who eliminated CM Punk. And then he gets down to Cena and Uso, and you think, right, yeah, back and forth on the apron. Hey, John Cena's going to WrestleMania. That's not happened. More details on Cena in our afternoon news later on today, by the way. But like, I really liked it, and like you say, this bubble thing is a real example of this, I reckon, because I saw the backlash to the backlash yesterday on X with loads of people
I
sharing
just
clips
said it,
from
so it
other
might not
people's
be,
streams or just
might not
people
work.
film themselves.
I don't know if
popping
that'll
off
work.
Huge when Jey Uso wins. Plus, and I
'Cause
don't
it
want
is
to be
already
that guy,
set
but
to,
I'm here at What
just
Culture.
chatting.
Let it
Watch
play
it.
out.
I might not even
Hey,
have them turned
and I think
on.
Charlotte and both going to be on
I'm
Raw
not even
tonight.
sure.
I'm very excited to see where it goes from here because you've got
Like, when
so
I tell you
many
I don't
people
know what I'm
now
doing,
that we automatically assume
I'm just
well, one of them
rolling
wins
with the
Rumble,
punches.
and that sets up
That's
something
all
for
I'm
the main event of
feeling.
WrestleMania. And then the other one, Chamber, I don't know, how does the
Yeah,
Rock
I-
package, all this, etc.
I am no,
now,
by no
what the
means
hell do you do?
well
What
versed in
happens
this
next
Twitch
with
stuff.
regard to
So-
CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth, Drew, more on him later.
He's not happy.
John Cena obviously is a huge name heading into WrestleMania. His last WrestleMania, I just think. I do kind of subscribe.
Yeah,
We'll
it's-
talk more about this myself and the rest
Twitch
of the Dudley
Mobile
boys
sucks, dude. I hate
on
Twitch
our
Mobile.
Rumble review later on the What Culture Wrestling podcast. I do kind of subscribe to the idea
Twitch
now of
Mobile's
like
stupid.
the intrigue is off the
So
charts
bad.
of like. Right, where do we go from here for everyone else, and how does Jey Uso and Gunther even get set up? Because they fought each other a lot, and Gunther always wins, and they literally just fought at Saturday night's main event. So I'm fascinated to see where it goes from here, and I do think, I think this is more bubble than people realise.
Yeah. I mean, WWE's not going to be sitting there going, "Hey, we got to cancel these WrestleMania
Yeah.
plans," or anything like that.
feel like
It's
they've
the
had-
hardest of the hard.
I feel like they've had their Mania plans for a long time, and this was just kind of a moment where we all kind of saw what was going on, but didn't really want it. I'm gonna be back in an hour, headed to my dad's house right now. Okay, yeah, I got you, bro. It's all good. Let's see. I might be gone in about an hour. I do have. This is gonna be just a short stream. I have to be somewhere in a little while, but I do appreciate you being here while you could.
Hardcore is
Yeah.
my read.
They never changed WrestleMania plans before when it was everybody, so...
Yeah, listen, all of this could be moot if The Rock shows up and
Yeah.
just goes, "Hello, I'm challenging Tiffany Stratton." Not you.
The Rock challenging Tiffany Stratton would be insane. That would be insane.
That would be probably the funniest possible
Yes.
timeline, especially if he loses.
But I enjoyed both Rumbles, and I'm very excited to see where we go from here.
Indeed. Hey, quick one. I'm doing a bit of a fundraiser at the moment, so some people who watch the channel may or may not know. Unfortunately, my father passed away last year
Ooh, that's
following a
so
heart
sad.
attack. So this year, I'm really determined to turn it into something positive and raise a bit of money for the British Heart Foundation. So, stupidly, look at the condition I'm in. I'm running a half marathon in September, and I'm trying to raise a little bit of money. So times are tough, but if you have any pennies whatsoever to you can contribute, I would love you forever and be very, very appreciative. The link is down below. It's justgiving.com/page/Andy H. Murray, but you can click it down there. Literally,
I'm surprised
$1
What Culture doesn't have like a
anything at
join
all you can spare. I'll be very, very grateful, and also it gives me motivation to get into shape
Yeah.
for this thing. It's a great cause, and help me, please. I've maybe bitten off a bit more than I can chew here. But
Best luck with it. It's a fantastic cause. Please do give all that you can. The Great North Run is a fantastic day out.
Yeah.
But I'm good that I didn't get a spot in the ballot this year. But best luck for it all. Yeah, and as you mentioned, obviously a cause very close to you. And please give all that you can because it's going to be a test. When is it? September.
It is. But hey, listen, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull it off.
Don't
It's all
smash it,
good.
mate.
Let's go.
Right, let's talk a little bit more about the Rumble. Obviously, there's loads of surprises in there. We got Joe Hendry, we got Nikki Bella coming
Yeah,
out
that
at
was
number 30.
I like
one
Joe
of the biggest
Hendry.
pops of the night was the return of Alexa Bliss that a lot of people have
That
speculated.
was
I think it was the
huge.
biggest.
That was a
actually.
massive
It was
pop.
huge.
It was a
Colossal
massive
pop.
reaction.
Yeah.
Great to see that, and she hasn't missed.
I like Alexa Bliss a lot, but I didn't realize that she was that over. I didn't realize that she was like that level of surprise when she came back, or like excitement when she came back. And I like her a lot, but they went nuts for Alexa Bliss, man, and that makes me happy. It makes me excited because Alexa Bliss is great. Obviously, she's really, really good, and it makes me excited that the fans remember after 2 years how good she was and are happy to see her back.
The step. Obviously, she's been away. She's had health scares. She's had a baby, and she was apparently meant to be looking after that baby, and then surprised us all by coming back. But it was less, in the words of WWE, dirt sheets being thrown off this by the fact she's off looking after a kid and posted about it on social media, and more the whole contract dispute thing. Yeah. Well, apparently it was very much a last-minute sort of thing that it all came together, and poor Shotzi Blackheart lost her spot in the Rumble.
Yeah,
as a
I
result
do
of it.
feel
That
bad
was-
about
it was meant
Shotzi.
to come out, but
I feel
obviously when
really
Alexa
bad
came
for
in, they were like,
Shotzi on that
sorry,
one.
Shotzi, which is a
I
bit
feel
of a
like
shame.
I feel like they're gonna make it up to Shotzi though. I really feel like they're gonna make it up to Shotzi pretty soon here for that she didn't get to be in the Rumble. I don't know what they'll do to make it up, but I do have a feeling that Shotzi will get her moment. You know, obviously Alexa wasn't gonna win, Shotzi wasn't gonna win, but the Rumble is a big moment to be able to shine, even for a few seconds, in front of millions of people. And so I do believe that Shotzi's gonna get a shot at redemption. Maybe not a shot at redemption, but like a little here. This is for being a team player and stepping out of the Rumble. And I believe it'll probably be on NXT because she's been working NXT recently, and she's been doing great in NXT. If you haven't been watching her, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. But yeah, she's been great in NXT.
For her. But yeah, all bit last minute, as reported by Fightful here. As of the start of Saturday, other participants had no idea that Alexa would be in the Rumble. She wasn't at the Friday rehearsals, for example. And as I mentioned, yeah, Shotzi was planned to take her spot. Yeah, it all came together very much last minute, and I'm glad that it did, and I'm very excited to see what she does next.
Yeah.
The way she looked implied possibly something involving the Wyatt Six.
She had Lily.
She had
with
Lily.
her.
She had...
What does it say in the jacket? Fiend Forever or something?
But yeah, friend with the knob,
Yeah,
it said
yeah.
Fiend,
Nice.
forever, which was
Nice.
lovely. And well, I suppose we might have to wait until Friday to find out more about that. What with the White
Yeah, I
Six
wonder.
now being
I
on
wonder if we'll hear
SmackDown, but
anything about that
just
this
a
week.
lovely
We didn't
moment
hear
in
about it
the Rumble,
last
that.
week.
Yeah, it was nice. The pop was enormous, like gigantic.
Yeah.
Which was cool because throughout the week there was some reporting that was like, oh, they're far apart on terms.
Yes.
I believe Dave Meltzer reported I think he reported this on the Friday, right? So the day before. As of right now, it's not happening. They're far apart on terms. but it might, like, they could come to a resolution.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people ignored that last line and went, Dave was wrong.
Yeah.
Because they like to do that. They like to ignore context.
Obviously, but also a lot of people like to jump down Dave Meltzer's throat regardless of what's going on. So, and I am one of those people. I'm not a huge Dave Meltzer guy, but yeah, a lot of things that, especially when it comes to WWE, when he says it, I take it as a grain of salt because he has been proven wrong so many times by the WWE. And there was rumors going around that they're feeding him wrong information. And I don't want to say that that's correct, but I also would not be surprised if it was. So
Fightful select,
Yes.
yeah, saying that it came together last minute, which is why it resonated as such as. Also, the fact that she's been gone for 2 years, and you know, she had the skin cancer scare, and that's obviously terrifying stuff. We're glad she's through that. But also, Alexa Bliss is a really good TV character and a really solid addition to the division. So her being back to me is really welcome. I was actually felt quite happy for her getting that response, and I'm glad
me too.
Far
I was
away the best
extremely
Rumbles
happy
that
for
Triple
her
H
to
have
get that
put on.
response.
I thought the men's one was better than the women's. We'll get into more of this later on today, and check out. You can already check out Simon Miller's ups and downs for the whole show, of course. But I like the fact that it wasn't just like, well, Charlotte Flair's won, and then there's 29 other women in this match. Like, there was amazing, fun interactions. There was a bit with Jordan Grace wrestling Trish Stratus. What?
Well, Universe did that.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
it?
there was potential setting up of other matches. Alexa was eliminated by Liv Morgan, and that is a match I'd love to see at WrestleMania.
Possibilities all over the place. Let us know how you'd book all the women
Ooh,
in the
yeah.
match in the comments section below. Right, let's talk about business for this Rumble.
Did it make any money?
Yeah, it made a little bit.
Okay.
So there's a bit of ambiguity regarding the attendance. So on air, it was announced to be 70,347, but a graphic popped up during the post-show presser that said 65,407. Paul Levesque claimed the higher number. There's lower numbers on screen. Either way, both of those numbers are absolutely humongous.
Yes.
Yeah, both of those
It's the
numbers are
Royal Rumble.
crazy, but I would
it's
claim
what-
the
it's
big number
what,
too.
the second biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania.
Well, not this year, because SummerSlam's 2 nights,
Yeah,
but yeah.
We'll fast forward to 2027 when SummerSlam's 5 nights in a row. But yeah, it is a huge monster number. It breaks.
I think I'm gonna enjoy 2-Night Rumble when it comes out. I think I'll be a huge fan of that. Rumble is my favorite event of the year, and I think allowing more time for the Rumble on both the men's and women's side, and allowing for more regular matches. I'm always for more regular matches. Let me say that. Always for more regular matches. And I think adding 2 nights, because the Rumble takes forever. And splitting it into 2 nights with the men on one and women on another, I think is a fantastic idea. Because now you can still have, the Rumble and maybe 3 to 4 matches also on both nights. We can see some title changes, we can see some crazy stuff happen at the Rumble where we think we know, oh, Jey Uso won this year, he's going to face Gunther. But what if Gunther loses the title the very next night? And so now he's torn between facing Cody and, XYZ, who just won the World Heavyweight Championship that he doesn't have any beef with, but he wants the title. But does he want to face Cody for it now? And so it could create an interesting dynamic, especially if like somebody loses a title, right? Somebody loses a main title on the Rumble, the night of the Rumble. That would be insane.
The attendance record out with WrestleMania, which was previously held by Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff.
Jesus.
1986.
Paul
That's 40 odd, almost 40 years ago. The gate was about $17 million. Again, this is the third largest in
huge.
history behind last year's WrestleMania, the 2 nights.
Yeah.
It's the highest single night pay-per-view ever, which goes
That's
to
crazy.
show that the ticket prices are mental these days.
Yeah,
A
they're
lot of people are
insane.
willing to pay them because it's a hot product and they're doing good business.
Yeah.
We'll see what the final attendance lies at. But either way, look, 65, 70, both colossal.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge.
It was trending to a huge show from months ago, arguably. The moment John Cena was announced, it was hitting
Oh,
like
yeah,
50-odd
yeah.
thousand or whatever.
As
And
soon
then
as John
throughout
Cena
this
was
week,
announced,
or
they
last
were
week, I should
selling
say,
tickets.
Yeah, they passed 60,000. You're thinking, Jesus, that is going to be raucous in there.
And this is why they're probably not too worried about likes and dislikes on a
Yeah.
YouTube video.
I think they'll be all right for a while. They almost have enough money now to license some themes for wrestlers. Because again, I didn't
Yeah.
recognise half the people coming out.
Yeah.
I recognise Trish Stratus,
Yeah.
that little giggle, and people like that. But
Nikki
Yeah.
Bella.
yeah,
Yeah, I like
it
that.
was a perfect case study of like, I know they're legends, so it's slightly different, but like certain people, they could come out and I'd be like, huh? Like Miller had put a note on his ups and downs, like, and this isn't specifically at her, but he picked out B-Fab, for example. She's a perfect example of like music hits, and I have to go on the stream looking at the
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
thing
no,
at the
he's-
bottom
he's
of the
completely
screen,
right.
but, yeah, the numbers are preposterous. They're obviously off to Toronto for Elimination Chamber and
They
then
are.
WrestleMania in Las Vegas, which we are going to be there for as part of our world
Ooh,
tour.
look at that.
Nice.
whatculture.com/tickets if you want to pre-register interest in that. We're going all over the UK and going to Las Vegas as well in April. But yeah,
I'd like to go to one of the
I
live
think
shows.
they're
I've
going
heard
to
they're
do. I
pretty
mean, they
fun.
now know they're going to Saudi
But
for
they're
the Royal Rumble next year. But I think
not coming anywhere
going
near me,
forward,
so-
if they haven't booked certain venues, they're going to take some big swings, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Big business.
Yeah.
As they say. Business is booming, and the business in this case is wrestling.
Now, WrestleMania is coming, but obviously at the Royal Rumble we had some amazing stuff that happened, as we mentioned. Alexa, Nikki, Joe Hendry, the fact that Jey Uso won, etc., etc. But for me, the best moment in the entire night was I Show Speed, and I did not anticipate
Yeah.
saying that last week.
I
because
Show
if you
Speed
missed
was
all
so
this,
good.
Akira Tozawa comes out. Carmelo Hayes has just been eliminated. He's really angry at Akira for being happy to be in the Rumble. Poor guy. He gets jumped. He gets taken backstage. They're like, oh no, his eyes are all over the place. He can't compete. Someone else has got to go in there. You there? Go in. It's I Show Speed. He's doing his stream, chatting to people backstage, and he's like, what? Okay. Goes out there, gets an elimination. He helped Bron Breakker eliminate Otis, did the Sue celebration, and then did quite possibly the greatest spot in Royal Rumble history, getting killed by Bron Breakker with a
You
spear.
got Taka Michinoku.
Oh my God, I watched it about 20 times. It's so good. All the different angles, slow-mo. He's
Bro,
barely
yeah,
turned
that
around.
was
His head
so funny.
snaps back.
So I was checking to see if
He's all right,
any more
obviously.
releases
He also
had
then
happened.
got chucked out of the ring. It didn't just get chucked out. He
Saw
got caught
Electro
by Otis and
Lopez got
chucked
it
over the
released
announce
earlier this
tables.
morning.
Logan Paul was backstage. You know, his guys are following him, filming him, and he bumps into I Show Speed, both huge WrestleMania. Well, I suppose technically, I Show Speed was in the Prime Bottle last year. Huge YouTube
True.
personalities. And yeah, not only was I Show Speed suffering from that horrific spear, he had a big old chunk taken out of his leg. I think we've worked out possibly maybe the table bump rather than the spear. Regardless, yeah, a horrible flap of skin taken off. It's all it looks horrible.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross.
So which Logan Paul says, walk it off. And there was a funny picture that you may have seen of Speed wearing a neck brace and walking in crutches. I don't think he's going to be in the chamber.
Yeah, no, I think he's out of that one. Although him getting splattered in there as well would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, Bron Breakker killed this guy. He just cut right through him, and then obviously he's hurt himself. I hope first things first. I hope he's
Yes.
doing okay. Obviously, I think that it's interesting. I think this is a cultural movement, like the high level streamers and the Paul brothers and I Show Speed and KSI.
Yeah.
And I don't know, name streamers, right?
Yeah.
Just make a list of them.
Kai Cenat was at Raw last week.
Yeah, and then like I saw him beating up a robot or something. What's going on there? What is this life? But it's content that is clearly made for people half my age.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't really resonate
Yeah, it's definitely
with what they
inviting
do.
the younger audience,
But if
yeah.
they come in and they take a
Which I think
stupid
is a good
bump in
idea.
wrestling.
That's the sort of celebrity appearance I want. Like last year, I was
Yeah.
dreading Pat McAfee coming in again this year. Like if he'd wrestled, that would have been fine. But like last year's when he just took a spot and then didn't really enter the
Yeah.
Rumble, it was crap. That's what I want to see. I want to see celebrities getting destroyed in Rumbles.
Drew Carey didn't take a bump like
Yeah.
that, did he? So
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a fantastic night for Bron Breakker and obviously Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, it was awesome.
A really good night all round. I really enjoyed the men's rumble, but obviously the Jey Uso side of things has got everyone talking.
Yeah, I think it's a storm in a teacup personally, but let us know what you think down below.
Storm in a yeet cup.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness gracious. Hey, look, there's a video for you to watch right here. You can watch the 100 greatest Royal Rumble moments. Hey, maybe when we do this list next time, there'll be a few from this year.
Speed's going to be on it for sure.
Alexa Bliss, probably top 50.
Yeah.
I'd say.
We'll be back later on today with the afternoon. See you then.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah, that was a good video. Good video. I like What Culture a lot. I've heard some mixed reviews on What Culture, but I like What Culture a lot. They're pretty good. But moving on, we have the rise and fall of WWF/WWE the music. Now, if you don't remember, these are like the CDs they would put out. And like with Jim Johnson was with them, they put out CDs probably at least once a year. Once or twice a year. Of just the entrance music per se. And I kind of miss them. I kind of miss, WWE posting those because that was always good. Like the music was also good, which was nice. The Def Rebel music is god awful. It's so bad. They have to be bringing, new music in soon. Hopefully, please, for the love of all things holy, please.
Hi everyone, it's
Big W for the Kylie Ray.
here, and you are watching Pinfalls and
WWID signee Kylie Ray. Awesome for the shout out for Pinfalls and Pixels. W Glocky once again. The man has done it.
Pixels, where wrestling meets gaming. Hosted by Glocky. Hope you enjoy. Bye!
For decades, professional wrestling has captivated audiences with its spectacle, storytelling, and larger-than-life personalities. But wrestling is not just about the in-ring action. It's about the moments, the entrances, and the emotional highs and lows that keeps fans on the edge of their seats.
Right.
And one of the most crucial elements of those moments is the music. Wrestling theme songs are an essential part of what makes a superstar truly larger than life.
I completely agree. And this is why I think we should get rid of Def Rebel. Because their music is bad. It's so generic. And you can't even tell who's who when they're making an entrance. Like we just saw the Rumble. There were a couple of times where people were just like, who is this when the music hits? Like, it's not like Seth Rollins on Raw when Logan Paul came out. These are people that have been on TV recently. And they're like, I don't know who this is. Just because their music came on and they didn't come out right after. Insane.
Life. Sometimes the theme song can be the whole reason they're over in the first place.
Showing
From the
Jacobs.
opening chords of Hulk Hogan's Real American to the
Yeah.
shattering glass of Stone Cold Steve Austin's entrance, music has defined eras, cemented legacies, and created unforgettable memories. The sound of an entrance theme alone could generate an emotional response,
Yeah.
a roar of cheers, or a chorus of boos before a single move was even made in the ring. The music was necessary for me as a kid for my figure fed, or even
Yeah.
later in life for backyard wrestling. But how did we get here? How did WWF become a powerhouse in the music industry, producing platinum albums and influencing mainstream culture, only to eventually fade into obscurity in this realm? This is the story of WWF the music, its rise to prominence, its dominance in the industry, and the ultimate decline of an era. The story of WWF's involvement in music begins in 1985, at the height of the rock and wrestling connection. Vince McMahon had a vision. Wrestling was no longer just a sport, it was entertainment,
Yeah.
and entertainment
Like-
needed a soundtrack. Thus, the wrestling album.
I agree that Vince's idea for wrestling was a good idea, right? To make it, less of a sport and more of a drama. Now, you still get a lot of the sport element, right? A lot of that sport element is what makes or what gets these people jobs, right? But there is still an entertainment factor that could be exploited to make more money and take this product to the next level. And I think he did a good job at that.
Album was born. Produced by Rick Derringer and featuring contributions from Cyndi Lauper and even Meatloaf, the album was a mix of theme music and original songs performed by the wrestlers themselves.
Yeah.
While it didn't set the world on fire in terms of sales, it laid the foundation for WWF's foray into the music industry. The album was conceptually interesting, but it lacked mainstream radio airplay, with none of its singles.
Well, yeah, who's going to play WWE the wrestling or WWF the wrestling album on air? Like, sure, there's probably some like fun songs on it, but there's nothing like, this isn't radio music. Let's be honest.
Breaking the top 100. Still,
like look at this. Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy with Hillbilly Jim. Cara Mia by Nikola Volkov. Hulk Hogan's theme. For Everybody, Roddy Piper. Tutti Frutti with Gene Okerlund. Yeah, like, I don't know. Grab Them Cakes by Junkyard Dog. That can't be a radio song back then. Oh man. Captain Lou's History of Music. Yeah, none of these songs.
this was
can
an
be played on the
important
radio.
first step. 2 years later, Pile Driver the Wrestling Album 2 followed, taking things up a notch. This time, actual music videos were produced, including
nice.
the infamous Pile Driver song performed by Coco Beware. The cover of the album featuring Hulk Hogan in a hard hat was instantly recognizable to wrestling fans.
That is kind of a cool picture.
This album gave us legendary themes like Demolitions and Honky Tonk Man's self-titled track, which would follow him throughout his career. The albums were campy and full of charm, but they were also a reflection of the era, bright, colorful, and larger than life. And while they may not have been commercial juggernauts, they planted the seeds for what was to come. By the mid-90s, WWF fully embraced theme music as an integral part of a superstar's presentation.
Yeah, because before there was no music, right? They just walked out and they said their name and they said who they were, like where they were coming. It's funny, when I did my research about this, because I was going to make a video about this, and I probably still will eventually. But the before, you had no music, right? Everybody would just walk out, they would announce who's coming, and they would come out. Then you would get sound effects for the heels. You would get like bad sound effects for the heels to let you know that you should boo these people. And then they thought, well, if we're giving them sound effects, we should give sound effects to the faces. And so they give them some sound effects. And then it morphed into, well, why are we just doing sound effects? Why don't we just do a full-length song? And so then it morphed into everybody has their own specific theme, to where we are now, where everybody has, their own specific theme, their own sound. Everything's special about each person.
No longer were themes just simple jingles. Now they were carefully crafted soundscapes that defined the character. In 1995, WWF Full Metal the album was released, marking the first entry in the WWF The Music series. While it wasn't an overwhelming success, it set the stage for what was to come.
For this.
More importantly,
I didn't watch them.
it
I didn't watch them live. I'll make that known because obviously I'm not that old. But when I did go back and watch WWE from like the very beginning, from Monday Night Raw, the first episode of Raw, I do remember. watching commercials for
solidified
this.
Jim Johnston's role as the musical genius behind some of wrestling's most iconic themes. Johnston had been working with the WWF for years by this point, but it was in the late 90s that he truly shined. His compositions weren't just background music, they told stories. The eerie gongs of The Undertaker's entrance, the aggressive drum beats of The Rock's theme, and the unmistakable
Jim
sound
Johnston
of
was
Stone
so
Cold's
good.
glass shattering, all were his creations. Johnston didn't just compose music, he created soundtracks for characters.
He really
His themes
did.
were an extension of a wrestler's identity, often becoming just as important as their promos or in-ring work. The late 90s were the golden era for wrestling music. This was when WWF The Music albums became legitimate bestsellers.
I still listen to the Forcible Entry album. It still holds today. It's still good. It's-
Breaking into
listening
mainstream
to it
and
earlier
turning
today.
wrestling themes into cultural staples. I still remember the first wrestling CD I ever owned, WWF The Music Volume 3, which was released in
also still a good one.
1998. There was nothing like tearing off the plastic, popping the disc into my CD player, and hearing the iconic themes of that era blasting through my speakers. This album featured The Rock's theme, If You Smell, marking the shift from the bland, smiling Rocky Maivia to the charismatic, trash-talking megastar we all know. His theme wasn't just an entrance song, it was a declaration. The Undertaker's theme on this album was like a precursor to the Ministry version, deepening his character's supernatural aura. That slow, haunting bell gave his persona a mythical presence that still stands out today. Now, as a juggalo, one of my favorite surprises was Insane Clown Posse's theme for The Oddities.
oh yeah.
Seeing them in WWF even briefly was surreal.
The Oddities
Their
were kinda
contribution to
crazy.
the music helped make this album
Didn't last
stand
very
out,
long, but
and
it
it
was
felt
kinda
like a
crazy.
hidden gem. By WWF The Music Volume 4, which was released in 1999, WWF had perfected the formula. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200,
Number 4. Number 4. Oh my god.
proving just how massive wrestling music had become. The highlights were legendary: Chris Jericho's Break the Walls Down,
That's a good
Triple
one.
H's My Time, and The Undertaker's Ministry of Darkness theme.
That's also a really good one.
As the 2000s began, WWF experimented with different musical styles, leading to one of the most unique releases in wrestling music history, WWF Aggression. This album took some of the most iconic entrance themes and reimagined them as hardcore rap tracks, performed by some of the biggest names in hip-hop at the time. Now, this album was one of my personal favorites, especially as a lifelong hip-hop fan. Run DMC's remix of the DX theme was a
Bro,
standout.
the Run DMC version of this of DX's theme song is one of my favorite WWE songs ever. I love that version of their song.
Transforming it into something even more aggressive and rebellious. Then you had Method Man absolutely murdering the Rock's theme, and the entire album felt like WWF trying to further cement its place in pop culture. While it wasn't a traditional WWF The Music release, it was a sign that the wrestling music had officially crossed over into other genres, and was something that could stand on its own outside of the wrestling bubble. I kinda wish they would bring this one back.
Yeah, that would be
I kind of
sick.
imagine Smirk doing the theme for The Rock. WWF
The problem with doing it now is the music is so bad. They would literally have to rewrite every single song. Every one of them. Like there's only a handful that you could turn into like a good song. The rest of them are so bad they'd have to just rewrite it.
Music Volume 5 was released in 2001, and you could say this was the last great album before the company transitioned from WWF to WWE. This one had Too Cool's theme, Turn It Up,
Nice.
but it
Love
also
that
had
one.
The Rock's hilarious song Pie, featuring Slick Rick. If you haven't heard this song, I highly recommend you go check it out right after you finish this video. It's really
Yeah,
The
finish
Rock
the video
at his
first.
best. Other highlights on this included Latino Heat and Dead Man Walking. The album was a massive commercial success, reaching number 2 on the Billboard 200.
Number 2?
After the success of WWF
God.
Aggression, the WWE went all in on the idea of working with mainstream artists to produce entrance themes.
I wish they would go back to this. I wish they would go back to this. I think that's such a cool mixture of wrestling and pop culture that allowed wrestling to be viewed in the eyes of millions. Because, you know, Kid Rock did a theme, Limp Bizkit did a theme. You know, all these artists were involved in making good theme music for a wrestler, and they would also do live performances at events. Like, I think that's a huge win for everybody.
This led to
I don't know why they
WWF
stopped.
Forcible Entry, which was full of hard rock and metal
Such a
remixes
good
of
one.
themes. Now, this was my all-time favorite wrestling
Yeah,
album.
this is the best
I even remember ordering it from the commercial on TV where you had to send like check or money orders. WWE worked with a ton of bands that they had already partnered with for pay-per-views and hype videos, so it only made sense. Limp Bizkit's Rollin' had already been used as The Undertaker's entrance theme. And say what you want about Creed, but their song My Sacrifice being used in those Desire hype videos was absolute
Yeah.
perfection.
Yeah.
WWE knew how to create emotional video packages, and this song elevated those moments to another level. This was also the last major WWF album before the company was forced to rebrand as WWE, marking the end of an era.
Yeah, I'm going to be listening to that
With
later on
WWE
my drive I'm about to
transitioning
take.
into a new era, they decided to release WWE Anthology in 2002. A massive 3-disc collection celebrating the best themes from different time periods. Now this is one I remember getting for Christmas. This album was split into 3 parts. The Federation years covering the 80s and early 90s. The Attitude Era, which was the absolute peak of wrestling music. And Now, which featured themes from the then modern era of 2002.
Nice.
Real American,
Honestly,
Sexy Boy.
I might see if I can find that just to have it in my collection, because that's crazy. I have a small CD collection. I might try to find that, because that'd be super cool to own.
Glass Shatters, Break It Down, No Chance in Hell. Every legendary theme you could think of was here. However, as much as this album was a celebration, it also felt like WWE looking backward rather than forward. This was right around the time when wrestling themes started to feel less inspired, and WWE was leaning more on nostalgia than innovation. One of the most
forgot
surprising
Psychosis was
moments
part
in
of that
wrestling
group.
music history to me was the debut of a young artist who would later become one of the biggest names in the music industry, Nicki Minaj.
Nicki
Back
Minaj.
then, she wasn't the global superstar that we know today, but her vocals made an appearance on Theme Addict, WWE The Music Volume
No
6
way.
in 2004.
Really?
Nicki Minaj, credited as Nicki Mirage, provided vocals on Victoria's theme song Don't
That's
Mess With.
crazy.
At the time, no one could have predicted that this unknown artist would go on to become one of the biggest names in hip-hop. It's pretty wild to think that a future superstar made her debut on a WWE entrance theme before taking over the rap world. While WWF The Music hit its peak in the late 90s and early 2000s, changes in the industry led to a decline in the impact of wrestling entrance music. As the WWE evolved, so did its approach to themes, and unfortunately, much of what made the music feel special started to fade. One of the biggest blows to wrestling music came in 2017 when Jim Johnston, the mastermind behind so many legendary themes, was released from WWE.
Yeah, that one was.
His
that
departure
sucked.
marked the
It was a
official
bad
end of
move.
an era. His themes had emotion, personality, and identity, something that WWE's modern music struggles to replicate. WWE had already begun transitioning to CFO in the early 2010s, and while they created some fantastic themes like Shinsuke Nakamura's entrance, Bobby Roode's Glorious, and Finn Balor's theme song, the music had become more streamlined. It was polished and catchy, but it lacked the raw personality Johnston's music had.
Yeah, I
Then
agree.
came the intro.
I think CFO did a great job for what they did. Right? It was no Jim Johnson. Don't get me wrong. No Jim Johnson. But CFO did a a pretty good job with a lot of the themes. They had some misses, obviously. Jim Johnson had some misses too. But CFO actually tried. I watched a video of them not too long ago where they were breaking down Making Glorious for Bobby Roode, and they spent a lot of time and they thought about things and they worked through, they progressed like at a really good pace and a really good thought process, and it ended up being like good. Like it was a really good song. Glorious is one of the best wrestling themes of the last like 15 years. But it was still no Jim Johnson. Like there was still no like he talked about there was character identity in the songs, and there wasn't a ton of character identity in CFO's songs outside of a handful. But then you get to Def Rebel, and it's just like the worst, almost AI generated music. I truly believe that these three guys right here are making AI generated music and selling it to the WWE for millions. And nobody's caring. Nobody's batting an eye. They're just like, whatever. We're in a contract.
Introduction of Def Rebel, and this was where things really went south.
Yeah.
Today,
horribly
most
south.
of WWE's entrance themes feel interchangeable.
Yeah,
Gone are the
100%.
days when you can hear the first few notes of a song and instantly recognize the superstar. One of the biggest problems with the modern WWE music is that it lacks build-up. During the Attitude Era in early 2000s, entrance themes had dramatic intros that set the tone immediately. Think about the glass shattering in Stone Cold's theme, The Rock's iconic If You Smell, or Triple H's Time to Play the Game. Those first few seconds made the audience react
I
instantly.
completely agree.
Now, many themes start with generic instrumentals that don't give the wrestlers the same instant connection with the crowd. The impact of wrestling music on pop culture has also declined. During the Attitude Era, you'd hear wrestling themes everywhere. Looking back, WWF The Music was more than just a collection of albums. It was a movement. The rise of wrestling music mirrored the rise of professional wrestling itself. These themes just weren't background noise. They were essential storytelling tools that elevated superstars and made entrances just as exciting as the matches themselves. While there are still a few bright spots here and there, nothing will ever compare to the magic of the late 90s and early 2000s, when wrestling
agree.
themes were must-have tracks. For those of us who lived through the golden era, these themes are timeless. They bring back memories of watching Monday Night Raw, playing WWE video games, or even blasting the CDs in the car with friends. Or, even like I said, your Figure Federation. What are your favorite WWF entrance themes? Do you miss the days of Jim Johnson's legendary
I miss
compositions?
Jim Johnson
Let me know
so
down in the
much.
comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. This is Glocky, and I'll catch you on the next one.
W Video Glocky. This is such a good video, and it's one I've been thinking about making too. And I might make it as well and kind of go more into a little bit of music theory and creative development and things like that. Because there's a couple of issues I have with the WWE creative. And the music and presentation is 100% like almost all of it. Like they do not present wrestlers anymore like they're big deals. They present wrestlers like they're exchangeable now. And it's hard to build a character off of an exchangeable entrance and exchangeable music. It's so hard. Like you'll have to be the best athlete in the world to stand out if you've got generic music and a generic entrance. Like obviously it's a wrestling company and they need to be focusing on wrestling, right? I get it. I 100% get it. I 100% agree. But there are fans out in the world who don't give a crap about the wrestling. They're there for the fanfare. They're there for the excitement, the drama. They're there for everything else. And I don't think you should cater to those fans. But I definitely believe that cutting that completely out and making that portion of the show bad is one of the worst things you can do. The music is so bad, the entrances are so bad. If they're not a well-established vet from before Def Rebel time, it's not good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. I don't know, man. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing for a multi-billion dollar company to be this bad at presenting wrestlers after the years and years and years of being good at it. Now we're in an era where if you're new on the roster and you already weren't a star somewhere else, you get the MS Paint treatment, which is not good. It's not good. It doesn't look good for people coming in. It doesn't look good for people that want to work there. Like Jordan Grace is getting an excellent treatment because she was a former champion. She's really good in the ring. You know, she's got everything you want to just walk in and do the job and be good at it. But some of these NXT superstars, you know, they're working with garbage music, garbage entrances, and doing their best. And they're still doing pretty good, but not as good as they could be, you know? People do care about the music and the entrance and the fanfare and being able to connect with these wrestlers, and having bad music, unrecognizable music, cuts off fans completely from being able to connect with a wrestler. Because they might really enjoy somebody, might not be their favorite, but they might really, really enjoy somebody specific. And then they come out and you just like don't know it for a couple of seconds because their name doesn't flash on the screen instantly, and the song is generic as all get out. It could have been 8 different people. And the videos all look the same. So we saw this at the Rumble. We literally saw this at the Rumble. BFAB would come out, and she's had matches on TV recently. Her music hits, nobody knows. She has to walk out before people start cheering. And I feel bad for her because I think she's got a bright future. But she's stuck with bad music and a bad Tron entrance. Like, nobody knows it's her when she walks out. She has fans. People cheered. People were excited to see her. But they don't know it's her. It shouldn't be a mystery. It should be, it's BFAB. Not a, who is this? Who's coming? Oh, it's BFAB. Like, it's so bad. It's so disappointing. WWE has to do better. They've got to do better. This is one of my biggest gripes about this company. It's so bad. All right. I've got to get on the road here pretty soon. So I believe we're going to call it for the day. Now, we will be live for NXT. Yeah, we'll be live Tuesday. In case you missed it, wrestling is coming out next day. So also Tuesday, we will have the Monday Night Raw episode. Wednesday, we'll have NXT. Saturday, we will have SmackDown. So be on the lookout for that. I thought it'd be a good idea to change it just so, you know, we could have a little more longevity to the videos, because I thought the videos were good. I thought they performed pretty well. They're not massive by any means. They're not my best videos by any means at all. I enjoy making them. But I think they become irrelevant within, 12 hours of posting. So if I want people to watch them and then be relevant, I need to put them out earlier. So we're starting with next day. We might move to 2 days, which would put Raw on Wednesday, NXT on Thursday, and then SmackDown on Sunday. But we'll have to see. We'll see what happens. We're going to try one day first. and then we're gonna move. If one day just can't happen, if I just can't do it, if it's just taking way too much time and I'm not catching any sleep and I've got to give up other things, then we'll move into 2 days. But I want these videos to be relevant for longer, right? I want people to be able to watch them, ahead of time. And maybe they missed Raw that night, they could watch this 15-minute video, give them everything they need to know. That's the goal. That's the goal with In Case You Missed It Wrestling. So we'll see what happens. But for today, that's going to be it. And I'll see you Wednesday. And I'll probably have these videos posted for tomorrow. So I'll see you Wednesday or Tuesday. See you Tuesday. And then the videos I react to will be up tomorrow. If you want to watch them again or you want to do anything with them. But that'll be it. I'll see you guys.